Hi, I'm Donna Williams, the chairwoman of the Wake County Republican Party, and with me today is Renee Miller. Renee is running for the Cary Town Council, District C. Renee, thank you so much for coming in to visit today.
I'm pleased to be here, Donna. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's start off with, tell us a little bit about your background, education, past jobs, just so we get to know you a little bit more.
Certainly. I grew up in western North Carolina in a little town called Brevard in Transylvania County, and I spent the first 18 years of my life there, then moved on to the University of Dallas in Irving, Texas, where I took a Bachelor of Arts in Political Philosophy. From there, I moved on to Georgia Tech, where I took a master's degree in business. And then I went to work, coming back to North Carolina, going back to Texas, and then back to Georgia, where I married and settled for a number of years before coming back to North Carolina in 2009. My political background goes back into my school days. I've been interested in politics since Ronald Reagan ran for president in 1980. I kept up with things even earlier than that through the 1970s. In fact, I think as I was thinking back about it, my first brush with politics was not necessarily a positive one. Mm-hmm. I recall watching Governor Holshouser on television one night, and my parents sent me and my siblings out of the room because we were being too noisy while the governor explained the gas rationing plan in the 1970s.
I remember.
We were still noisy. And let's just say that my dad got to the seat of the trouble after everything was over. After that, my next really close brush with politics was when I met then candidate Jim Martin at a neighbor's meet and greet. And I continued that interest in politics through college. And even in my life in Atlanta, when we were living there, we were active in the party and kept up with what was going on. And found certain things entertaining when we were watching Cynthia McKinney, who was actually our congresswoman at the time. Mm-hmm. But I was living in a part of Atlanta when Newt Gingrich was elected to the House, and I helped Newt Gingrich be elected Speaker of the House, which was a really exciting thing. Yeah. Since I came here, I actually became active in the Wake County Republican Party the very first week I moved to Cary. And I had some good help. We had moved to Raleigh and had moved into a house, and a week later was the first precinct meeting, and Don Finkbeiner was key to helping me get connected here in Cary. Since then, I've gotten active in the Western Wake Republican Club. I also served as a chief judge for the Wake County Board of Elections and have served as president of the Western Wake Republican Club now for almost 6 years. Wow. We've grown from 11 members to right now more than 120.
That is wonderful.
Wonderful. And at the end of last year, we were at nearly 200 members. We hope to be over that by the end of this year.
Excellent. So tell us, what made you decide to run for town council in Cary?
Well, there were a number of things. Donna, as you're aware, we had a candidate for this seat who withdrew after announcing, and one of the people who was charged with finding another candidate for that was me. So I started recruiting, and it seemed that every time I made a phone call, somebody said, well, if you'll run, I'll help. I'll be on your committee. Before long, I had a committee. I realized that I was probably looking too far for the candidate, and I needed to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I have had a heart for Cary for a long time. I was appointed to the Greenway Committee last year. I've felt it's important for people to be able to exercise their right to vote, and have done a lot to make sure that people know how to do that and where to do that. And we've been active in Cary for years, starting with the Imagine Cary project that ultimately resulted in the Cary community plan that the town council is now implementing with the help of town staff. So.
Very exciting. Very exciting. So my next question is, when you get elected to the Cary Town Council, what are a few of the changes you want to bring?
That's actually a difficult question. Cary's a great place. We've done a very good job maintaining our green space, dealing with development and that sort of thing. But we do have some challenges before us. Cary has built out over 90% of its buildable land. That means that we can't just build suburban sprawl for housing anymore. We are not going to be able, so our development needs are going to change to more dense and more infill, which is going to be challenging for us to maintain the character of Cary while we begin to live closer together. The other challenge of that is balancing the infrastructure, and the infrastructure in Cary is complex. I'm not talking only about the water, the sewer, the trash pickup, the things that our council has always covered, but we now have a natural resource that we have to be extra protective of, and that's our trees and green space. So all of that has to be balanced in.
Right.
And it's going to take a fresh look and I think some creativity to get us through this changing time in Cary. And that's what I think I bring to the table, is an adaptable, creative perspective that can help us move Cary into the future.
And I am excited to see you be able to do all of that. So, last question before I start into our close. Where exactly is Cary District C for our listeners' sake?
Cary District C is southeast Cary. So it runs from the new Epic Games headquarters that used to be the Cary Town Center Mall, all the way down to Holly Springs. And then on the east side, it's bounded by Holly Springs Road, and on the west side by Old Apex Road.
Okay.
It kind of forms a pie-shaped district running down south from Central Cary.
Excellent. And I'll bet you there's a map of it on your website. Yeah?
Not on my website, but on the town's website.
Okay,
And if
okay.
you look under the redistricting section of the town,
Okay.
you can see it. And it's easiest, though, because this district is so sprawled and spread out, particularly on the southern side. The easiest way to find out if you're in District C is to go to readytovote.com, the Wake County Board of Elections, click voter lookup, and look up where you live. And when you go down further through that website and through your information, it'll tell you which municipal district you're allowed to vote in Cary.
That sounds great. So how about tell our voters, our voters, yes, our listeners, how they can help you?
We have a lot going on and only 26 more days to go.
Right.
So, we have much to do. You can help with postcard parties. You can help by walking with me. You can help by walking with our teams. And one of the biggest ways you can help right now is donating. Our biggest problem for this election is that nobody knows that it's happening. July 26th is a very strange day for an election. We need to reach every conservative voter in Cary to be sure that they know when to come and vote and where. And you can find that all on my website, votereneemiller.com.
Excellent. I was going to ask you, so what is your website? votereneemiller.com. Well, Renee, I just thank you so very much for coming in and chatting with me. This is designed to help our listeners here in Wake County to learn a little bit more about you. And what I ask every one of you who's listening to this is to please share it. Share it on your social media, email it to people that you know, and you don't need to live in Cary to be able to help. So go to Renee's website, you can click on volunteer and help her. And I do want to thank you all for listening. And behind us, we're in the Wake County Republican Party office, which is located at 1401 Sunday Drive. We have a store here which has all kinds of interesting, fun things that you can walk out the door with for a donation. The donations that the county party receives go to helping candidates such as Renee. So I just thank you all. And Renee, I want to say thank you very much to you for coming in today and talking with myself and our listeners.
Glad to be here, Donna. Thank you.
Thank you.